Hello YouTube, it's time for another video review. I'm getting kind of excited. I thought I'd treat myself in time for Christmas and the new year by building myself like a budget HTPC, which in time I will stick in a decent graphics card and hopefully make into an acceptable gaming PC. But the parts are slowly on their way, should be here in the next few days. But the first thing to arrive is this, which I'm really happy about. It's the Silverstone Grandia Series GD08 home theatre PC case. Just came yesterday, didn't really get a chance to kind of unbox it unfortunately, so I'm doing it today. I'll show you quickly around the box. It's by Silverstone, obviously, designing inspiration. It says it's an amazing home theatre server case with incredible storage and cooling capacity, and it's USB 3 ready as well, which is great. So the benefits as far as Silverstone are concerned, and what they'd like you to know, is that it supports, its fan configuration is geared towards positive air pressure design for excellent cooling, quietness and dust prevention. So by that, obviously they mean that there's going to be more fans blowing in and less blowing out. You've also got the fact that this case supports expansion cards of up to 13.6 inches long. So really, even though it's a home theatre PC case, and you can see from the picture there, it's designed to fit in like an AV rack under your television. You know, nice black aluminium front fascia, nice clean finish. It is actually very sizable, so maybe it's like, I would compare this to the size of, say, like an AV amplifier. So it supports really long cards, and also it supports extended ATX motherboards as well, so with a bit of fiddling around you can do that. It's got quick access filters to prevent dust build up, so nice for cleaning. It's got a thick aluminium front panel with premium styling, an LED indicator with adjustable brightness, which is actually quite good. I did used to have the LC17, and I used to find that the hard drive activity, power LED activity lights, which were like blue colour, which I think the same as this, were very bright, which kind of was off-putting, say if you turn the lights down for a movie evening. So that would be useful. Impressive storage capacity of up to 12 drive bays, so you could even use this, you know, as mentioned, as like maybe a server box, a nice stylish server box, you know, or a combination really. I mean, I wouldn't recommend a server HTPC, or you could look at it, you could have it as a HTPC with lots of storage. So that's that side. Flip the box over. In different languages, it's explaining the same thing, I'm guessing. Along the top, it's got an introduction, which is quite cool. It says, the introduction of Grandia GD07 and GD08 cases from Silverstone ushers in a new era of home theatre computing like never before. For the first time, the power and storage capacity of a server can now be neatly stowed beautifully and quietly in a home theatre environment. Completely re-engineered to fully utilise all available spaces, the Grandia GD08 can accommodate an incredible amount of drives, up to 12, and high-end components, graphics cards up to 13.6 inches long, with minimal sacrifices. It is even possible to fit SSI EEB, that's 12-inch by 13-inch extended ATX motherboards in the GD07, despite maintaining an exterior dimension similar to Silverstone's previous generation full-size HTPC cases, and breathe. So that's the that's that side of it. So that's the introduction. And okay, we've come from that. So I'll just move it over to this side. It's got the same gump really. So we'll crack on and get it unboxed. Some of the useful dimensions, etc., are actually covered, unfortunately, by this horrible postage sticker. So I'll see whether that's not going to tear off properly anyway. So that's a shame, because I could have gone through the specs, but I'm sure there's a nice manual inside. Okay, the top of the box is actually just empty, as it were. Ooh, let's get this into the picture. Just make sure you guys can see all of it. Bear with me. Thank you. Okay, let's just get this thing opened up. Okay. that's my invoice, I think. Just slid in. And there you have it. So nicely packaged in a decent amount of polystyrene on the sides, and the cardboard is like really nice thick cardboard, so it's going to protect it nicely. Now before I get the case out to show you guys in closer detail, I'll get out the white box that normally comes with these Silverstone cases, because this should house all the bits and pieces. So first of all, you've got a motherboard header for USB 3, I'm guessing that's what that's for. Then you've got some cable tidy strips. These two plates are for like an additional hard drive, so it creates like another mounting option for a hard drive, which I've seen on another video on YouTube. I think it was by Linus Tech Tips. He actually showed how you could use these to install another hard drive. And then you've got your bag of screws, standoffs, etc. And here's the manual. So let me put that stuff back in, and I can quickly show you the specifications in terms of... Excellent, there you go. I'll hold that up to the camera, but in case it's not readable, it says the material it's an aluminium front panel with a steel body. Model is the SST GD08 in black. Motherboard support SSI EEB, SSI CEB, extended ATX, ATX and micro ATX. Drive bays, it's got two 5¼ inch exposed drive bays which support optical drives only. Then inside it's got space for 8 3.5 inch and two 2.5 inch drives, so obviously those could be used for SSDs. On the rear it's got two 80mm fan slots. On the top it's got oversized vents. On the bottom it's got three 120mm intake fan slots, or I'm not sure if the fans are included or not, but the fan, well, it might be by the looks of this. They're meant to be 900 RPM with 18 decibels, which means they're nice and quiet. Backwards compatible with one 120mm fan and three 80mm fans or six 60mm fans. I don't think anyone's going to use one 120 with three 80s or six 60s, because I think it will probably end up being very loud and whiny. I think three 120s at 18 decibels will be plenty of intake. So that's along the bottom. So it's got 7+1 expansion slots. The front I/O has two USB 3s, audio and a mic. Power supply supports a standard ATX power supply of up to 220mm. Recommended depth is under 180mm. Expansion card supports for graphics cards up to 13.6 inches. Limitation of CPU cooler, 138mm in height. I mean, this is really great information. So, when you have this case, you know exactly what you cannot go out and buy. And then finally the dimensions. So it's 440mm in width, 175mm in height, which is actually the same kind of height as you'll find on most AV receivers, and the depth is 425mm, so 42.5 centimeters. So that's the kind of main specs of the case. Sounds fantastic. So we'll just, without any more yakking, well, that's a lie, we'll carry on yakking. Get this case out. It's actually quite light. It's not like mega heavy, but it is empty at the moment. So remove the polystyrene from both sides. Okay, that's it. I'll place that down there. Make sure the box is out of your view. And then here you go. You get a good look at the case. Comes wrapped in like a plastic bag. And you get a first look at this case, which immediately, you can tell, looks really nicely finished. So it's a steel body at the top. I'll just tilt it towards the camera, and there you can see the front aluminium panel. Now, believe it or not, it's the panel's thickness, or the finish of it, means it's not the fingerprint magnet that people might think it could be, because mostly when you get these brushed aluminium finished job is they do tend to fingerprint a lot. I'm rubbing my hand, maybe I'm not very greasy today, but then it's not leaving any marks, so that's really nice. You've got really nice feel, power, reset, and the two optical drive bays there. I'm only going to be using one with a Blu-ray drive. There's your two USBs, your headphones and your mic. Now along the bottom, because we're almost there, I'll show you that. That's where your 3 fans will be, and by the looks of it 2 fans are installed, not 3, so those should be those 900 RPM 18 dB fans. You've got nice feet, just like you expect on an AV component, and you know there's the removable, I'm guessing, you know, dust filter. Wow, that comes off really nice and easily to expose the fan grill, and then you can see the plethora of mounting screws if you wanted to do all those crazy combinations like 60mm, you know, which I won't, and that clips in really nicely. Now the lovely pattern on here is meant to give you maximum airflow through the filter, through the dust filter, while still doing a good job. So you know, it's designed with performance in mind. Apparently, it looks pretty snazzy, so I'm very happy with that. Okay, now to the side. That is where your power supply will be taking in air. So it says pull there, pulls out. So you can see it's that's the kind of grill design there. Really nice. So you'll put your power supply in here. It'll suck in cool air from the outside and blow it out the back. So it's kind of like going to be self-contained. So that's just for, you know, to keep your power supply running nicely. Then on the back of the case, yep, you've got your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 PCI slots, and an additional one maybe for a fan controller. More space for 2 80mm fans. That's where your I/O shield goes, so that's where your motherboard's inputs and outputs will be. And then finally on this side, you have got room for your exhausts. So you know, if you have 3 intakes at the bottom, you're going to have 2 exhausts. So it's still, you know, that's if you kitted this all out with fans. As you can see, it's actually got 1 fan installed, so by default comes with 2 intakes, 1 exhaust. The power supply's airflow shouldn't really have too much of an impact on the airflow of the case, because obviously it's going to be like self-contained. And on the top you can see, okay, I'm trying not to damage this too much, oops. There's the oversized vent, and that sound was the, well, actually rather cheap feeling, I don't know what material that is, but very cheap material, and that just sits on the, that just clips onto the feet. I'll just show you, that came off there, that just came off there, so but that just goes right back onto the feet. It's more for aesthetics, so it doesn't bother me, and once it's in place, that'll be it. One thing I've noticed immediately, and like most Silverstone cases, they still for some reason insist on making you unscrew you know, regular screws to actually get this case open. It really wouldn't kill them, especially for the cost of this case. You know, this case costs £100, you know, it's not cheap as far as cases go. They could have given us a thumb screw, do you know what I mean? However, such is life. Okay, that comes off nicely. That's actually quite a rigid panel, and it's got some nice kind of dampeners there, so that if you've got drive bays in, I'm guessing, so that these handles don't create any vibrations. That's quite a nice feature, so nice rigid construction, I suppose, which is a positive. So now inside you can see the 2 fans I was talking about. That's where your drives would go. You've got your I/O, there's the 2 installed intake fans. It does actually come with some standoffs already screwed in, which is quite nice. So you've got a set of standoffs for a regular like ATX board, already in there. Now, in terms of this thing here, that's pretty cool. That is what you have to remove. So you unscrew this. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 screws, I think, which you unscrew, and then you lift this unit out. And once you lift that out, you fill it up with your hard drives and your optical drives, and then you put it back in. So it does actually come with, you know, very good instructions. I'm sure I'll be able to show you guys, because what I'm actually planning on doing is my components will be here within the next few days. I'm planning on doing like a quick, simple how-to, like how do I build my PC. So it's not necessarily going to be like the, you know, most, I suppose, professional video, but it's just going to be like a vlog, I suppose, of me building my HTPC. So obviously I've got the components coming in, and then I'll go into more depth on what, you know, how to build into this case. But you can see there's plenty of room for a graphics card to fit in without any hassle. You know, it's, I suppose if you were to use a really large graphics card or like an SLI configuration, you may possibly have issues with some of these kind of bays, but I don't think I'm going to have any of those issues. I'm going to be building it with an M80X board anyway, because as I said, it's going to be like a budget HTPC. So, you know, it was a quick look really, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you've got any questions about the case, fire away. I will be, as I said, putting up more videos in the next few days of me putting together my HTPC, so I hope you guys join me for that. If you like the video, please, you know, click the like button and subscribe. It really helps me out. Whilst I'm here, I will also like to say I'm really chuffed actually. I managed to get 100 subscribers yesterday. You know, the time making this video was actually yesterday, so I was very surprised and pleasantly surprised and shocked at the same time to have managed to get 100 subscribers. But I'm very grateful, and hopefully we can make this channel a lot of fun. I'm sure I'm going to keep on buying PC bits and peripherals because I'm kind of addicted to it, I think. So as much as I can, you know, realistically afford to upgrade my kit, I will be doing so. And I will be making sure that I make videos for you guys to enjoy. Let me know if there's anything that you'd like to see as well. That would be great as well. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a great Christmas and Happy New Year. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I will see you guys shortly. Thanks for watching.